Hi guys, so I'm really excited about this video because today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my hilarious NYSC experience, which has been inspired by this book that I recently read. It's called Memoirs of a Lazy Korfa by Tunmise Usikalu. I'm going to be doing a book review on this book and I am going to be sharing my experiences. I'm going to be giving you all the deets, no holds back, all the every Make sure that you watch the end of this video because I have a special announcement to make at the end of the video. So let's get started. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Rachel here. As always, hit that subscribe button so that you never miss a thing. You can also like this video so that it's referred to other viewers as well. So as I said earlier, I'm going to be sharing my NYSC experience. For my non-Nigerian subscribers and watchers of my video, NYSC is full for National Youth Service Corps, and it's something that we do in Nigeria where as soon as you graduate from school, each Nigerian citizen would serve their fatherland, will serve our fatherland for 1 year in a state that is not your state of origin, or most likely a state that you're not familiar with. And it was sort of created to foster unity and a spirit of oneness in Nigeria, because Nigeria has quite a lot of tribes and it's one of the most diverse countries with so many ethnic groups. I think we have over like 500 ethnic groups in Nigeria, the major ones, the minor ones. So this was done to sort of create some form of unity and loyalty towards the country. So even till now, every Nigerian citizen is required to undergo a 1 year service of this, and this includes a 3 weeks camp experience, which is mandatory as part of the NYSC program. This camp usually takes place in a I don't even know what to call it, like a place. It's sort of some paramilitary sort of boot camp, you know, like all this wearing boots, and you have like a crested uniform, you have your cap. It's sort of like we have a lot of paramilitary people who help out with the trainings in the mornings. You wake up at 4 a.m. There's loud whistles, there's water being thrown on you, all those type of things. So that's basically what the whole NYSC experience is about. Then after the 3 weeks, you're posted to a place of primary assignment, which is your PPA, where you're going to work for the 1 year. So if you're a lawyer, most likely a law firm. If you're most times people are posted to schools to teach in rural areas or things like that. So just giving you a brief background of what the NYSC experience usually is. So I'm going to do a short book review on this book and then I'm going to get into that. I got this book sent to me by the author Tunmise Usikalu. It's called Memoirs of a Lazy Korfa. Tunmise is a dentist by training. She has a doctorate degree in dental public health. When she is not baking, daydreaming, or scribbling, she is working away at her day job. Let me just read out an excerpt of this book and like basically the synopsis that is at the back of the book. Though this is only the first day of camp, as at 2:30 p.m. or thereabouts, I am already number 1246. As if that's not bad enough, we get marched over to the registration hall to get registered and have it over with. And wait for it, they are registering copper number 200 and something. I didn't care to know what the something was. It was not that important. So here I am sitting on my traveling bag under a tree for shade and wondering what in heaven's name I am doing here. This journal is a hilarious account of one corps member's experience of 3 weeks at a Nigerian National Youth Service orientation camp. And actually, it was actually a really nice read. So basically, it's just a memoir. It's non-fiction. She just decided to chronicle her experience in camp. So you have day 1, day 2, day 3, up until when the 3rd week is done. So I really liked this book. It's simple, it's straightforward, it's light-hearted. If you're looking for something light to read, if you're currently in a reading slump and you're looking for something light to read that can get you out of reading slump, this is it. This helped me because I had just read this after I read a book that I didn't really like, and I was just tempted to be like, whatever, I'm just going to go on Netflix because I can't deal with books that I don't like. So this is a very good reading recommendation if you are currently in a reading slump. It's literally this small. It's like 101 pages. So it's just a funny one. And if you're a Nigerian, obviously the book is just so hilarious because it brings back so many nostalgic feelings. I know, like, while I was reading the book, I was just thinking, oh my goodness, NYSC camp. I wasn't thinking that I wanted to go back there I was just thinking, oh, that's so lovely. And what's so amazing is the fact that the author's experience happened in 2004 and she's just chronicling it now in 2020. So that's like 16 years ago. And mine happened in 2015, and that's 5 years ago. And there were so many similarities in her experience with mine. And it just goes to show that, honestly, maybe even people from the 80s probably have the same experiences with us in terms of NYSC. But anyway, that was basically it. So she served in Kano, and basically she had to do the 1 year NYSC, and then she had to do the 3 weeks mandatory camp. So I loved how real and relatable her story was. I loved how genuine it was. It was interesting. It was short, sweet, and simple. It was not more than what it is. Like, it was not more than, how did they even say that thing again? You cannot be more than what you are. It was not more than what it is. It's what she said it is. It is a memoir, right, of her NYSC experience, where she chronicled everything that she had been through and how her NYSC camp experience was. So if you're looking for something extra, like how her experience in Kano was, or her experience for the whole year when she did her things in the PPA, or where she worked at the place of primary assignment, that's not what this book is about. She literally just kept a journal, and it's just lovely. She also included at the back like a glossary where you have like the definition of certain terms for non-Nigerians, if you've not experienced, or people or Nigerians who have not gone to NYSC camp before. As at then, a lot of the things that at the back of the glossary really just explain certain terms that were being called in NYSC camp. Camp director is the camp commandant, the director general, drills, morning parades, agbada and shokoto, aluta, call up letter, your platoon, your state director, all these NYSC terms that are usually that we know a lot about in Nigeria. And for people who are in Nigeria who have not done NYSC camp, this one will really help. So yes, I loved it. I would, for its purpose for which it served, I would give it a very strong 8.5/10. It doesn't in any way serve as a guide of what you should look out for, what you should do or what you should not do when you're in NYSC camp. For those who are prospective NYSC core members, that's not what it is. Thank you so much, Tunmise, for sending this copy. I really appreciate it. And like I said, I have an announcement at the end, so you guys can stick with me till then. Anyway, getting into it, let me share my own hilarious NYSC experience. So, as at 2015, I entered into NYSC camp 2015, right? And that was shortly after we had done our call to bar ceremony. Guys, I recently found pictures on my flash drive that saved from 5 years ago. So I got everything on my computer, and my pictures literally flow in a story way. Like, you can see like my call to bar experience with videos, pictures, every single thing. In fact, if I'm nice, I will just be putting everything beside here so that you guys can be seeing it. You'll see pictures of when I was called to bar, videos of when I was called to bar. I was just like happy, and I'm like, yay, I just got called to bar. Hi, I'm about to be called to the bar. I'm walking in now. See everybody here. Whoop, whoop. We've just been called to the bar, and it feels so good. Then we hadn't gotten a call-up letter. A call-up letter is what you get when they inform you that, oh, this is where you're going to be serving. And shortly after NYSC camp, I got my call-up letter, and I was told I was going to serve in FCT in Abuja. And people were like, oh my goodness, you're so lucky. I'm like, no, I wanted Lagos. My whole life was in Lagos then, and I'm like, I just want to serve in Lagos. I was so excited about the prospect of serving in Lagos. Having been a lawyer, as at that time, I had applied to a lot of law firms who were like, don't worry, just get your call-up letter, and you're coming to Lagos, and you're going to have an amazing time. So don't worry, you're good. Just come. But let me tell you how my camp went. I had not been to the camp before, which is in Kubwa in Abuja. So on getting to Kubwa, the entrance, there's like this long line. This was like I took the first flight, and I got to the camp like around that 10. So I'm like, did you people not sleep or what? Like, why are there so many of you guys like outside already? So I saw some people outside. When they see you forming the line to enter into the place of no return, that's once you enter into the gates, there's the assumption that you cannot come out. But of course, we know that people come out. I'm just rolling my bag there. I'm just thinking, oh my God, this one. I'm not the happiest person, but it's exciting because I'm like, oh, this is going to be an interesting experience or whatnot. And then I'm seeing some women around. Some are selling pillows, buckets, whatever. They're like, auntie, you need need bucket or you need pillow when you enter, because obviously those things are not provided in the rooms. I'm like, okay, no problem. I bought pillow, I bought bucket. Next minute, someone comes, she's like, buy your pool bucket here, buy your pool bucket here. I'm like, what? And then she's like, pool bucket, auntie, how far? Buy your pool bucket? Okay, just 800. I'm like, ew. Like, she saw my face and I was like, ew, what do you mean by poop bucket? Oh my god. She's like, oh, auntie, he said not ew. Don't worry, ew. But it was the most terrible experience. I almost started crying. But I'm like, okay, I've heard that NYSC camps tend to be a little bit dilapidated. Like, there's not much facilities. Like, it's literally like as if you're, I don't even know, like you're in boot camp, or like there's no, oh my goodness. As soon as I got in, oh my goodness, you guys, like the line that I saw, like that's why when I read this excerpt of Tunmise's book, I was like, oh my goodness, I can totally relate, because what time is it? Where did you guys not sleep? Like, why are there over 1,000 people? Like, why is my number like 2,000 and something or whatnot when it's just 10 o'clock or 10:30 in the morning? Like, I didn't understand. I did my registration, I did everything. The line, I was literally taking pictures and sending it to my friends. I finished my registration around maybe 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. Then we went to go and get our NYSC kits, which was also how Tunmise's own went. I ended up using those things as rags, by the way, as soon as I left NYSC. I got into my room, I met my bunkmate. Apparently, you guys that went to boarding school, you people call bunkmates bunky. So when I entered, and she was like, oh, Bunky, I thought she was talking to somebody else whose name was Bunky. And I'm like, who is this? But then I looked to my left, and then somebody was like, hey, you're my Bunky. Ah, my Bunky, this one. And then everybody in the room is calling this person who is Bunky, Bunky. And I'm like, who the hell is Bunky? Like, what's going on here? I later find out that Bunky means bunkmate. And apparently, if you went to boarding school, yeah, you probably know, like, your bunkmate, because there's like bunk bed. My bunk was right in the middle of the room, and we had like maybe over 40 bunks in one long rectangular room. So there were like maybe over 80 girls in one room. The first day we went for the parade, they woke us up in the morning. People are coming, like all these paramilitary guys. Hey, wake up, banging things up and down. I'm like, oh my goodness, like what is going on? I'm not a morning person. Look, I don't need people banging on my head like when I'm just waking up. I think that was the day that we wore our crested, I can't even remember whether it was the first day, and we had some parade. Anyway, we ended up standing from that 5 when we woke up to maybe like 4 in the evening. I was so tired, I was hungry. I had never stood for so long. I literally started crying on the spot. Meanwhile, some people started pretending to faint. They will now faint, and then the Red Cross people will run to come and carry them. And then some people started going to go and volunteer for Red Cross because they wanted to avoid trainings. The doctors had it easier because they were in the clinic, but people will argue that they didn't really have the full NYSC experience, but they were always in the clinic trying to tend to people who were fake fainting, fake breaking their leg, fake this one or that one, or having fake panic attacks or whatever it was that they were having at that particular time. So by the next day, they started telling us what to do throughout the camp. Like, this is what you're going to do. They divided us into platoons. I was in platoon 10. So people took it upon themselves to appoint themselves as platoon commanders or platoon head or whatever it was. I really could not have been bothered. I was just there trying to like not let the sun consume me or beat me up. But I had a nice time because the first couple of days, the morning parades, like from the paramilitary guys, were always very interesting because they'll be calling you Otondo, this one, that one. If you don't want the something, there were a lot of crazy ass songs that you'll be singing. You'll be insulting yourself. You're singing the song along with it, and you're just like, yeah, whatever. Oh my goodness. I'm like, how long are we going to do this? So yeah, the first 5 days, it was all cool. Everybody was excited, cool. But then afterwards, it's like, okay, what's going on? My bunkmate could not even be bothered. That girl, she's like an original OG. She never came out for parade after the first couple of days. She would always hide in my bed. Like, my bed was so strategically placed that it was not at the corners of the room. So when the paramilitary people come in and they're banging, hey, get out, go. They're looking at people in the corners or under the beds. They're not looking at somebody's bed who is right in the middle of the room. Look, I knew I was going to be in camp for like 21 days, so I could not even stress myself in terms of all these many things that people were doing. Like, there was somebody who you buy maybe cold water, hot water for 15 naira. You find a lady who will come and carry it for you. Maybe you give her 100 naira. That's how somebody one day now asked me, all these things that you're paying for, can't you do it yourself? I just looked at her, I was like, see this one. You think everybody is here to suffer? If I can pay somebody 100 naira to fetch you a bucket of water, take my bath. I will now go to the well or the tap or wherever it is to go and be fetching. I'm like, no, bro, I ain't doing that. I made sure that I bought 21 white shirts when I was going, one for every day. So I never had to wash any shirt. I made sure I bought 21 pairs of socks. All this while, I did not know where my primary place of assignment was going to be, because remember, I had only interviewed for jobs in Lagos, and I was then in Abuja in camp, like the 6th day, the 7th day. We had to go for lectures. Some of these lectures that the NYSC whatever organized, sort of teaching you about unity, telling you about community development, all the sustainable goals kind of thing. So every day there was a lecture. I never went for any lecture, but there was one lecture that I went for because I was bored, and oh my goodness, I came back crying because I was just like, so I don't have anywhere that I'm going to serve. What that means is that they're just going to place me to somewhere random, maybe like one school in like Abaji or Kuje or Lugbe or one of these places that like all those outskirts community places where it's just like mud houses and stuff like that. I'm like, oh no. Maybe in the morning I'll wake up, I'll be like, today is going to be an amazing day. Yes, today is going to be good. God is going to come through for me. I don't know where I'm going to serve, but I'm going to get somewhere good. As I'm thinking to myself, I'm writing in one little diary that I wrote to comfort myself. Some girls come and be like, hey girl, how far? Have you gotten where you're going to work? Oh yes, I have now, of course. High five. Oh girl, we're working in ECOWAS, United Nations, everywhere. It's confirmed. I'll not be looking at myself. I'm like, oh God, why? Then I went for the lecture, and the woman was like, for those of you who will be serving in Abaji, Kuje, Kwali, when you get your call-up letter, you don't ask for another one. You take it in good faith and you just go there. Why? Because you should be happy doing your NYC. Some of you will be posted there. I'm like, my man, I'm like, it's me, God. What did I do? Like, why? Why me? Why? I was already imagining myself in Abaji with one Abaji man and in one little mud house, and I'll be like, I found happiness here, having little Abaji children or whatever. And I was always depressed about it. My mom and my sister would be like, can you chill? It's just NYC. It's not the beginning and end of your life. Like, it's supposed to be a fun experience. Like, my mom was there jumping fence during her own time and going for parties or whatnot. And my sister could not even be bothered. She gave somebody her alawi and was just chilling at home for the whole 1 year. I'm like, no, you don't understand. It's the foundation of being a good lawyer. The day that I now decided to not cry and just be immersed in things, I went and I participated in a platoon's decoration of the camp place and everything like that. I participated in that. I also participated in like the traditional dance when it was time for, I think it was a parade or something where you do traditional dances. Honestly, I had not even been part of the rehearsals. I just loved the costume. I went to go and hustle to get a costume, and then when they were dancing, I was just doing what they were doing. And surprisingly enough, we made so many mistakes, but we still came like second or first or something really crazy, and it was so cool. Maybe because there was one guy in particular who kept on doing like 5 million backflips or whatnot. It was so amazing. I love the fact that I wore that my epic sort of outfit, and I was just dancing and I was having fun, and I had chalk all over my body and whatnot. That was like maybe a week to the end of camp. Towards the last week and a half, it started getting boring because all the experiences were new, and I made new friends. I saw like people fall in love and people catch feelings. On the issue of catching feelings, okay, did I catch feelings? I met someone, and we had a nice time discussing. We had nice conversation and stuff like that. Really chilled guy, very nice. And after camp, we still kept in touch and we were still trying to see how things would go, but of course it didn't go because I mean, that's life happens. It didn't work out. You know yourself if you're watching this video, Sha, so it's fine, and you know what you did, so it's okay, no problem. Moving on to my man o' war experience. Honestly, they say pictures don't lie. My dear, pictures lie, because these pictures that you're seeing where I was doing this man o' war, I didn't even do any obstacle course. I was just like, please take me the picture with me on this rope. And then I stood. When I'm about to jump, take the picture so it looks like I'm in the air and it looks like I actually did something. Okay, so now do it this angle. That was literally my experience of the paramilitary obstacle course. I was not gonna like lie down on the ground because I'm a princess. It was fun, just looking at other people do theirs. Somebody's pants even tore into two, like, because it was so tight. There was a lot of harmattan. It was always very, very, very cold, and I think I even fell ill at some point. This was already towards the end, like maybe a week towards the end of camp. They divided us into different groups for different duties: kitchen duty, this one duty. So one particular day it was decorations duty, and then I joined the decorations team, and I had like a nice handwriting, so they were like, oh, why don't you just contribute to write quotes so that we can stick around the camp. We ended up doing that, and then our platoon commandant was really impressed with what we did, and she had like 50 slots or something. Like, basically you write down where you want to be posted to. I did that, and then miraculously I didn't go back to my hostel when I was done. I was just sitting out under a tree listening to music, and then somebody who was in our platoon, I think the secretary or so, he was walking back to his hostel, and then he looked in my direction. I was like, you're in platoon 10, right? You did decorations today. I'm like, yes. Like, go and write your name. Like, they're writing down names of people and where they want to be posted. So I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, I was so excited, because till then I had no idea where I was going to be. I had already resigned to having my Abaji children, my Kuje children, everything. I'm like, whatever, it is what it is. I ran to her chalet, because like all the commandants or whatever, they have like chalets. I ran there, I wrote down my name. I saw that I was number 70 something. I'll never forget, I was 72. And they said she only had 50 spots. So I'm like, oh my goodness, this is still a risk. I still have to wait to see whether that would happen. And I waited up until the end, to the last day, where they now gave us our letters that had our primary place of assignment. And I saw that it was where I wanted to serve, and a law firm. And it was one of the best experiences that I had. I met so many amazing people. I made so many amazing friends. Abuja was just a great place to be in, like, at that point. And at the end of the day, it was such a happy ending. That was basically how my whole camp experience went. Would I like to go back to NYSC camp? Hell to the no. But did I enjoy my experience? Yes, I totally enjoyed my experience. I was able to participate in sports, play table tennis, a lot of interesting things, sha. Something that I feel like every Nigerian should experience, whether you live abroad, whether you're coming into Nigeria or whatever. We didn't do endurance trek, which is something that a lot of Nigerians do in NYSC camp, in the 3 weeks orientation camp. We didn't do the endurance trek, because during that period there was a lot of security issues in northern Nigeria, so they told us that we were not going to do it. But I think in Tunmise's accounts, they actually did theirs in Kano, because it was a lot better by then. In the endurance trek is where you leave camp and then you trek like through villages or through places for like a really long time, and almost go and kill yourself or something, and just walk through hills or hiking or whatever for a long time, and then you come back to camp, basically to build your endurance. So that's my own NYSC experience. That's what I enjoyed from reading this book. It brought back so many memories. It made me laugh. The fact that I now stumbled on all my pictures, which I've been showing you guys, just made it all the more interesting. Let me know in the comments how your own NYSC experience was for you. If you're Nigerian and you haven't gone for NYSC camp, let me know what people have told you about it. If you have, let me know your experience as well, or if you enjoyed this video in general. The special announcement that I have is that I have 2 extra copies of this book by Tunmise, and I will be giving them away on my social media accounts. So if you want to stand a chance to win any of these 2 books, make sure that you follow me on social media. All the links are in the description box below. You can also see my social media handles. They pop up somewhere at the top, and then you guys can follow me and stand a chance to win one of the 2 giveaway copies. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.